Okay guys, we're back with episode 2 of our Broken Ranks beta series, picking up right where we left off. We're now on the overworld map, so let's jump straight in and start exploring. But just a quick heads up, this video may include a few storyline spoilers. Based on this encounter, it looks like battles here aren't random like in other games. Instead of getting thrown into a fight just by walking around, the enemies are actually visible on the map. And combat only starts when you choose to interact with them. Alright, let's put what we learned in the tutorial to use. We're up against the same enemy, a Utaurian lurker, so we'll stick with ranged attacks since those worked well against him last time. Three out of 5. The hit success rate was lower compared to last time. Okay, just for testing purposes, let's switch over to melee attacks and see how that plays out. Okay, even though the hit success rates were the same, only one actually connected. So it's safe to assume that certain enemies have fixed defense settings, and based on what we've seen so far, this one is definitely set to defend against melee. I noticed earlier on the overworld map that there's an eye icon when you interact with an enemy. That probably lets you check their profile before the battle, giving you a chance to prepare your tactics ahead of time. We'll look deeper into that later. But knowing this, one solid tip for battles: know your enemies. Our very first dialogue sequence on the overworld. It's a nice touch being able to talk to NPCs and choose your responses. I'm guessing that later on, we'll get multiple dialogue options that might actually influence how the story unfolds. I'm excited to see where that goes, so let's keep moving. Okay, so this party of soldiers is inviting me to tag along, but before we head out, I'm being instructed to loot a sword and shield from a fallen soldier. This is clearly our introduction to the equipment, or gearing side of the game. I'm really loving how this game handles gear. In a lot of games, you can equip all sorts of weapons and armor, but your hero still looks exactly the same. The appearance never changes, no matter what you put on. But here, every piece of gear actually shows up on your character. The moment you equip something new, your hero updates visually. I really appreciate that. It makes progress feel real and makes every upgrade way more satisfying. Now we're moving on to setting up our tactics before heading into battle. We go over to the skills section, which makes perfect sense since these are the abilities we've been assigning to our attack slots in the previous fights. We're currently in the basic skills section, which, as noted here, are available to all classes. However, some of these skills have preconditions that must be met before they can be used. Here in the Tactics section, let's equip the new skill into the attack slots of Tactic 1. This skill became available when we picked up the sword earlier. It looks like you can assign different skills to each slot, but the tutorial is currently guiding us to equip the same skill in all slots. We'll do that for now and experiment with mixing them later. Next, it's time to distribute the AP for each slot. Again, the tutorial is directing us to assign a specific number of AP per slot. And that's basically how easy it is to preset a tactic in this game. Pretty straightforward. Choose the tactic number, equip your skills, assign the AP, and save. Moving across the map is done manually, giving you more control, unlike other games where you simply click the objective and your hero automatically walks to the location. Alright, the primary quest objective is displayed at the top of the screen, but make sure to pay attention. It only stays visible for a short time. This is our first battle against multiple enemies, so let's see what strategy the tutorial wants to teach us. The first tip here is to check the enemy's HP. Taking out the weaker one first reduces the number of opponents we have to deal with. making the fight more manageable. Now we get to try out our hero's new skill. Our damage has increased significantly now that we have a weapon equipped and have updated the skill in our attack slots. The Lurker attacked first, but we landed a fatal blow, 1 down. Next tip, since the Hound attacks purely with melee, we can allocate all our defense AP to melee, increasing our chances of blocking or dodging its attacks. Okay, let's do that and see if we defend better this round. We dodged all the attacks. Perfect. Again, it all comes down to knowing your enemy. The final tip in this tutorial is understanding when to take risks by allocating most of your AP to offense and leaving almost nothing for defense. But note, only do this when you're confident you can finish off the last remaining enemy. Another victory in the books. As predicted, there will be moments in the dialogues where you get multiple response options. In parts like this, your choice will shape your hero's personality in the story, which adds an extra layer of fun to the role-playing experience. Alright, this is our first battle with a companion. It says we can view their stats, but won't be able to control them. Kuzman's stats are pretty impressive, understandably so, since he's already level 30. If you didn't notice earlier, Kuzman mentioned attacking the dog first. Let's follow his suggestion for this tutorial. I mentioned before that it looked like you could equip different skills into a single tactics attack slots. And now it's confirmed. Let's try mixing things up and see what happens. Okay, so the final part of this tutorial is basically freestyling everything we've learned so far. Let's go. Oh, I noticed a bit too late that I assigned all my AP to mental defense instead of ranged. No wonder his attacks had a 100% hit success rate. My bad. Okay, the final stretch was mostly more dialogues, response choices, and a bit of map exploration. I don't want to spoil too much of the story for you, but as one last spoiler warning, I did save Alice from certain death in one of the decisions earlier. That said, I'll definitely be playing more and checking out the other features this game has to offer. But hey, if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a like. And if you want more Broken Ranks beta content, make sure to subscribe. I'll be posting more videos soon. If you're already playing this game, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to learn something from fellow Broken Ranks beta players like you. As always, this is Level 0 Dad, where Zero hopefully becomes a hero. See you in the next one.